tonight's homework was one of two worksheets. If you worked with me, you got this identifying factors worksheet. So just a reminder, our factors are kind of like the multiplication problem. The two numbers that multiply to equal our target number. For number 1, our target number is 18. So we can do 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6. And because it has more than two factors, it is composite. 16 has 1, 16, 2, and 8, and 4 times 4, and we only rate each number once, so it only counts for ones, and it is also composite. 49 is 1 and 49, and then 7 times 7, and it is composite. 15 is 1 and 15, and 3 and 5. And if we remember and notice for all of these, the first number I'm starting with is 1 times itself. That factor works for all of them. So 1 and 27, and 3 and 9, which makes it composite also. 6 has 1 and 6, 2 and 3, which makes it composite. And you can write it either this way, or if you remember at the beginning of factors, we talked about factor rainbows, where we would put 1 and then 63 would be on the end, and then we would have 3 and 21 and 7 and 9. That way, if we connected them, it would make the rainbow line across. Okay? I'm okay with either way, whether you like writing them as the pairs together or writing them as a rainbow. That's completely up to you. 1 and 79, since those are the only way, that's the only way to multiply, it is prime. 20, we have 1 and 20, 2, 10, and 4 times 5. And then 28, I'll do the rainbow way again, so we would have 1 and 28, 2 and 14, and 4 and 7, and I'll make my rainbow upside down. And so it would look like that. So that is the homework if you were with me. Oh, and it is also composite. If you are with Mrs. McGee, then your factors and prime and composite looks like this. We're doing the same thing. We're finding our factors, which are our two numbers that multiply to get to that goal number, and writing if it is prime or composite. So for 10, you can either list them or write them as pairs. I'll show it both ways. You could do 1 times 10 and 2 times 5. And since there's 1, 2, 3, 4 factors, that's more than 2, it's composite. For 5, we only have 1 and 5, and since there's only 2, it is prime. For 12, so I just did factor pairs for 10, I'll show listing for 12. I have 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. And since it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 factors, it is composite. 18 can go 1 and 18, 2, 9, 3, and 6. And it is also composite. So it doesn't matter which way you write it. Okay? It's all about just making sure we have them all. For 41, and so it is prime. 15, 1, 15, 3, and 5. So it is composite. 2, we have 1 and 2. Remember, 2 is that special one. It's the only even number that's prime. Every other even number is composite. For 49, I have 1 and 49 and 7. I only write a number once, so I'm just going to write the 7 once. But it has more than 2 factors still, so it's composite. 73 is 1 and 73. It is prime. 33 is a tricky one. We have 1 and 33. And because it's a double number, I can do 3 and 11 works for those double numbers, like 22, 33, 44. And so it is composite. And 21, our last one, is 1 and 21. And 3 and 7, which also makes it composite. Remember, there's a whole lot more composite number than prime. So this is the homework if you were in Mrs. McGee's group to check your work. And again, the homework if you were in my group to check your work. And this should help us for our quiz and knowing our factors. Have a good night.